Hey everyone, welcome to Bonquisitive Take. So today I want to discuss some of the GitHub repos that are trending, and I just wanted to also let you know what are working, what is not working. So the repos I have been looking into this. So what are the popular trending repos this week? And the repos that actually matter isn't about bigger LLMs, right? So at least this week, all the repos that I was looking into, they are mostly the infrastructure underneath. Sandboxes that can run untrusted agent code or terminals that supervise agents, browser agents, page agents, document engines that don't need Microsoft Office, or even voice models that run on laptop CPU or like that, right? So these are just the top few things that I'm looking into it, and like there are three themes that dominates, right? So there's the infrastructure for running multiple coding agents safely. That's one of the major theme that I see. The next theme I see is about connectors. Connectors that give agent access to, say, browser, websites, documents, media, videos, that is. And then I see the last theme is more about smaller local models that you can use, right? So these are the big three themes that I see. And let's very quickly talk about few of them that I liked. Uh, the first one I was looking into and which got massive popularity this week is from TencentCloud. Tencent, mega Chinese company. So they have introduced something called CubeSandbox. So this is like a high performance sandbox runtime for any AI agent workload. The best thing, it basically has KVM isolation. I think they use Rust VMM, and they are claiming that the creation will happen within 60 milliseconds. So sub 60 millisecond boot and less than 5 MB overhead per instance. That is pretty huge. Why? Because you need to understand, like whenever we try to run agent, we want it to be containerized. Now, if you want to use Docker container every time, it's a pain, right? Docker containers can be a pain in terms of like you are waiting for some time, so you are wasting your money, you are wasting your time. And then if it's just a simple Python sandbox, there are multiple things that can go wrong. Rather, if you have a hardware based isolation, that is the best thing that can happen. And similar tech actually powers AWS Nitro, right? Now, sub 60 millisecond sandbox creation, that is, it's very fast and there's not much overload. So you are getting the containerization, the sandboxing, but you do not have to trade off it for the time, latency, and all. So this is where I think, and the seamless E2B migration, this is also something. So you can swap it in with other existing agent platforms, right? So that's why this looks very promising infrastructure wise. And I think, yeah, they had a very recent release yesterday, and yeah, it looks very promising, by the way. Okay. The next project that I wanted to talk about, I have basically created a lot of list over here, is Harder. I am not sure how to pronounce it. HERDR, Harder. So imagining this, that you are trying to run multiple agentic session, which is kind of becoming a norm, right? So you might have Claude Code instances, multiple Claude Code instances. You can use Codex by OpenAI, and then you can have other instances as well. So you have multiple agentic instances, coding agents running, and you need a way to supervise all of them without like much of a headache. Okay, so Harder is there. So it's basically kind of Tmux redesigned, but it is more for this agentic era where you keep session alive across disconnects. You get real terminal views, not sanitized summary, just not just a summary, but you get real terminal views. It exposes a socket API, so you can like you can script your supervision workflow, like how you want to supervise, that you can actually control as well. So that makes it very good, I would say. So yeah, so if you're running Cloud Code Codex, cursor agents, multiple repos simultaneously, this is something that you would really like. Okay, next, where can we go next? Yeah, this one, Strix. Yeah. So this is again on the infrastructure side, but very important, and also something that is gaining a lot of popularity is Strix by Ustrix anyway. So this is basically a penetration tool, AI penetration tool. So you have built your app. Now you want your app to be secure as well, right? Because there might be users data that is there. Then there could be other type of data, payments data, financial data that you are dealing with. You do not want your app to be insecure, or people to easily hack into your system and get access to data that you do not want them to do. So there's authentication, authorization, and everything. But still, sometimes we miss a lot of things. So that's why you do pen tests. Now, this is basically an agent for penetration testing, and you have built your app. Now, these basically autonomous AI hackers will find and fix your app's vulnerabilities. Okay, so and I think what also like makes it a little different, it can be easily integrated, by the way, into your CI/CD pipeline, and you basically point it at a PR div. It doesn't just return static analysis warnings like, okay, what it says, but it actually attempts validated exploit findings, right? And it is very, I would say, uh, hands-on. To be like precise, it's more hands-on than just a static analysis, right? It's just not a static analysis. So this is why I think like any application team, specifically if you are working on the cybersecurity aspect of stuff in platforms, they or CI/CD owners, basically whoever, basically the DevOps personnel in the company who is looking after the CI/CD pipelines, they should be looking into this. This is a good tool. It seems to be working, and it has a strong practical potential. But again, a lot of integrations are being done, so I think it's still new. It still needs that maturity stage. Okay. By the way, while we were talking about streaks, let me also bring up very quickly something that I am also working on, the security part of things. So since we are working with agentic files in an agentic system, there are so many things to guide or guardrail your agents. You basically write guardrails. You have policy files. Then there are these agents.md or for Claude.md, all these files which basically tells the agent what to do, what not to do, those kind of things. They're also not, they do not only carry instructions, but they are also something that your agent inherently trusts and executes. And there lies a bigger security threat, because agent is not only something that is just giving you some answers, but it can actually take actions, right? And if it takes action on something harmful, it can do harm. So that's why you need your agent, I would say, not only like it's a big supply chain risk, basically. So you need something where you want it to be very secure. You want your these files, these agent files, that the agentic instructions are basically are conveyed. Those file agents.md, claude.md, skill files, everything, the rules, that mcp config files, those need to be above and beyond approach. And that's where this skill forge works. So again, this is something that I am working. You are free to just view, and if you like, you can basically buy this product. But anyway, let's get back to all the other products that we have been talking about. Okay, so okay, the next repo that I want to talk about is this one. Yeah, this I feel is something of a gap. Okay, so it's very simple, deceptively simple. It's basically AI agents that can handle, that can generate, that can modify Word document, Excel spreadsheet, PowerPoint presentation, but you do not need Microsoft Office for this. Okay, so this is something is I feel it's serving a gap, because it's very easy, and agents can very easily now create scripts, Python scripts or any scripts, C++, Go, JavaScript, TypeScript. If you are working with scripts, if you are working with codes, that's good and fine. But whenever you are working with like in a corporate system, you are working with Word documents, Excel spreadsheets, PowerPoint presentations, and there are not that many good agents that can handle them well. You see, like, you can create something, but since most of the agents, like, in if you just go to chat gpt, say for example, and you have pasted something, you are working on something, and you ask it to write it in a Microsoft Word, sometimes it creates the, because at the end what it is doing in the back end, it is writing a Python script to convert things, to convert the content into Microsoft Word. Now that sometimes work, it's not like 100% bulletproof. Why? Because sometimes the formats can change. You can have issues with the formats if you're working with PowerPoint presentation. Again, something may or may not work properly. The templates might not come as you have, as you want. So this is where I think OfficeCLI can be a, like a game changer. There are a lot of releases, by the way. I was very shocked to see, like, there are already 100 plus releases. So I'm not sure whether it's because they have to change a lot of things, they are trying to integrate a lot of things, or is this a stability issues, or it's just very active. But yeah, so they have a lot of releases, but still, I think this is actually trying to work, or trying to uh, put a gap, trying to basically solve a big gap that we have. Okay, but yeah, it will still need testing against your own templates, because a lot of corporates, a lot of brands, product companies, they have their own template, customized template, and that's where you basically make all the changes. So yeah, that still needs to be checked and test verified. Okay, so what next? Uh, do we have the page? Yeah, this one, the page agent. So we talked about few infrastructure ones. This is more of a, as I said, the connector, the second theme, like where you connect things. So this is where agent meet the browser. Okay, and Alibaba, which is again, which also created the Quen family series, Quen model family series. They have built something which is pretty interesting. It's page agent, and it takes a radically different approach from most browser agents. So if you have used browser agent, so say for example you are using Hermes or Cloud Code or some other agent, you try to go through screenshots. So basically you try to use computer vision, right? It takes, you might have used Playwright, Playwright as an MCP, or Playwright as a skill you might have used, or you have seen Codex or ChatGPT basically, or Claude or Hermes or other use it. So what they're trying to do is, when you want to automate this browser automation, right now I'm in Chrome, right? I'm working in Chrome. It kind of sees, okay, this is the page, it takes a screenshot, and then it says, okay, I need to click here. So it gives next feedback, like this is the exact pixel where you need to click, and then again it comes back, and again basically a screenshot comes back, and again the LLM kind of tries to predict, okay, now next you need to go here, now you need to go there. So it works on the computer vision part of thing, right? So you basically work with the screenshots. Now what this uh, page agent is trying to do is, instead of this taking screenshots and using computer vision to figure out what's on the screen, uh, it is trying to inject a JavaScript agent directly into your web page. An agent directly on your web page. So it reads the DOM and it understands the structure natively. So every web page, uh, so if you go inspect, every web page is basically have some inherent code, right? Now, it understands the DOM, it understands the structure natively, so it's more fast, it's cheap, and it's reliable because computer vision is a little bit fragile because you are taking so many actions, so many conversations is happening between the LLM, and again, sometimes those are blocked as well when you are trying to use Playwright or those kind of automation tools. So this sort of control, the DOM based control, it's actually much cheaper and much more reliable than our usual browser automation that we try to do. So this is something I think it's you can embed it with a single script tag. So you can bring your own model, by the way. So at that way, it's basically completely not only open source, but it also give you the flexibility to choose any model that you want. It also has MCP integration, if I am not wrong. It has MCP integration. Yeah, I think, yeah, MCP server is there. Yeah, you can integrate an MCP as well. So yeah, the only trade-off could be like DOM based control can break on complex virtualized interfaces like or canvas heavy applications. If you are basically building a complete canvas into the page itself. But for most of the internal tools, CRMs, admin panels, like for those, this is way more practical than having a full browser agent that we usually use. Okay, so this one was good, and then what's there? There was something called video use. Let me see whether I have that. Yeah, video use. So as I said, connector, an agent that can connect to browser pages or videos. So this one, I think it's slightly older now, but yeah, it's still going strong with the kind of stars, the popularity that it's getting. So it's basically video use by browser use. So it lets you edit videos with Claude Code. As simple as that. So you basically use FFmpeg, and it basically uses the transcript, by the way. So the main thing it uses is the audio transcript, and based on all the small speaker diarization is basically it understand like when different speakers are speaking or different audio events like laughter, applause. It actually breaks it down through that, and then you can actually ask it to make cuts, say do simple things, scene transition, stuff like that. So it can do these things like video editing, but it I won't say like it's full on video editing that you usually use. You can edit raw videos, you can have your transcription, ffmpg cuts, as I say, subtitle generation can be there, small animations also you can probably do, like overlays kind of a thing. You can remove probably few words if you want. If you want, you can probably cut the silence, or you probably can, since you are using Claude Code, you can also probably create sub-agent for simple visual layers if you want to add. So the idea is very, I would say, like very interesting, because now, like for a lot of people, YouTubers, developers, creators, educational content teams, you want to use such a workflow, right, where you let the agent do the editing part, because that's one of the most time consuming part of it. So this is something that I think can be like very interesting. It may not be at the stage where it kind of already negates the need of a proper video editor, but yeah, it's going in a good direction. And then there's a very similar Claude video. It also got a lot of stars, but I think it's I won't say it's similar. It's more of a like a Claude to understand what your video is doing. So it's more of a scene-aware understanding, so that you can ask it questions. You can do those kind of stuff, right? Like some information to be extracted out of a video. Those kind of thing you can do very easily. Okay. Uh, Anything else? I think I have gone through it. Pocket-tts is something that I want to finish it with. So pocket-tts again something which had uh, come a few months ago. It's not like as new as some of the other projects that I have been showing. But this is also pretty good. Why? Because as I said, right now it's not only about the quality of the model, but also where or how you can use it, how you can use that model. So you might have already used, or you might have heard about 11 labs. So basically the cloud TTS, right? So 11 labs is the I think the leader of the pack. But there it may be good, and even the price may seem reasonable for a lot of people. For some it may not. But apart from that, you lose a lot of control as well. Okay. And if you can run, and also specifically if you want to work on edge devices, let's say in mobiles or in other devices, you want something running then and there. Okay. And this is where I think projects like pocket-tts is like highly practical, because first of all it's local AI. So you are basically in the controller seat, and its application goes beyond like simple coding agents, right? It 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 can be usable for a lot of people building for like as I said, for a lot of type of hardware devices and all, where you can integrate such things. Some basically a TTS, a text to speech engine, which can run on CPUs. You don't need like a very big GPU, NVIDIA RTX or DGX Spark kind of like a kind of expensive GPUs, but you can run even on laptop CPU. Okay, that's what this is all about. This is a text to speech. It might not be the best text to speech that you have heard. Like there are some models that can do emotions pretty well now. But yeah, although it may not be the best one, but it's still very good. I would say it's still pretty good in terms of what it can do. Okay. So yeah, cloud TTL APIs are good enough, but yeah, they can there can be latency sensitivity. There could be privacy. Privacy is one of the big thing why you may not want to use a cloud TTS. Okay, like 11 labs. So I think yeah, that's mostly it. That's where a few of the projects that I wanted to talk about. I feel like if I just have to choose one, CubeSandbox looks like for infrastructure uh it beats of anything out there. Okay. So I think CubeSandbox, OfficeCLI also something that I feel like it's an enterprise adoption, or I would say like it basically create it work on a gap that nobody else is feeling right now, to be very frank. Video use, I think it's slightly overhyped right now. Whatever you see regarding video, it gets a lot of hype, but mostly doesn't deliver the way we expect. So yeah, I think video, all the repos related to video use, though they're getting a lot of popularity, I do not feel the hype is justified all the time. But yeah, broadly, if I have to say, you would see more and more on this, where infrastructure side or just on the local AI side, you would see a lot of development and interest. Okay. So which one would you deploy first? Which one would you prefer? If you have something in your mind, do let me know. And if you want more in-depth videos on any of these tools, Again, do let me know. I have already worked on a few demos, agentic applications. I'll build more in the future as well. But if you have any preferences, do let me know. And until then, bye bye. See you next time.